at saka senators, this is really the base explanation of the financing we did last year. If they want a more detailed explanation, we can break down all of these numbers. Is that okay? Yeah.
Oh.
So, the reason is revenues went down because of the lockdown, less income, and our expenditures went up because of the COVID. So, we had to borrow more money. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sani, ang ano lang nila is, can we give the people a simpler analogy of saan na yung then the quoted an amount, saan na yung billion for the vaccines?
Okay, now, the next slide I have, this is explanation of what happened last year. Okay? So, gumawa rin ho tayo ng vaccine budget and financing. And we can put that up on the slides also. Now, these numbers are not trillion. These numbers are billion. Okay? 1,000 innovas. Okay? Each billion. Okay? So, that the total financing we have for the vaccines, logistics, and other supplies, including waste disposal, is 82.5 billion pesos. Saan po galing yan? DOH budget, 2.5 billion pesos. Bayanihan 2, yung extension, 10 billion pesos. So that subtotal of that is 12 and a half. So we also got financing from abroad. World Bank, 24.3 billion pesos. Asian Development Bank, 19.5 billion pesos. And Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, 14.6 billion. The subtotal is 58.4. Yan ang loans natin. So, 58 tapos we have another line, we got some savings. Because remember, last year, nag-substitute tayo ng loan. Bumaba yung interest rate natin. Kasi our credit rating is very strong. So when we borrowed, the interest rate was lower. So we were able to save, and we also able to get additional official development assistance of 11.6 billion pesos. So when you add 12.5 from general appropriations, 58.4 from the financing, yung from World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, plus the ODA is a total of 82.5 billion pesos. Now, 82.5 billion pesos will buy us enough doses to inoculate 100% of our adult population. Kasi according to the Department of Health, hindi pa pwede inoculate yung mga bata, di ba? 16 or 18 below, hindi pa pwede, di ba? Ang total population natin is around 110 million. Ang below 18 is 40 million. So 70 million lang to vaccinate. So that money, the 82 billion, plus the private sector and another 10 billion from the pesos from the LGUs will be able to vaccinate all the adults in the Philippines this year. This year.
So, sana yung pera na billion-billion dyan, nasa kamay ba natin yan ngayon?
Hindi po, nasa bangko pa. Kasi we did not withdraw yet. Kasi we will only withdraw when we pay.
Yes.
Because why should we hold the money? Kasi babayad tayo ng interest eh. So, mientras tanto na hindi pa na-deliver, hindi pa due ang payment, we'll keep it in the bank first.
Well, also the reason...
Pero itong 12.5 billion ho, Nasa atin na yan.
So the reason why I request you to explain this to them. Kaya ang buong akala kasi nila, yung pera na bilyon na ibinigay nila sa Kongreso, nandiyan na sa kamay natin that it's called cash. At nasaan na yung pera. Sinasabi na natin time and again that the money is with the lending bank.
Still.
Still.
Oo.
So we have not used any single centavo of it because as a matter of fact, about the vaccines that we are going to buy, pero donated ito lahat sa ngayon.
Sa ngayon, donated pa.
What is in our hands are the donated vaccines.
Di donated, I think 500,000 lang eh. 500,000 doses lang eh.
Yeah, and the 400, you're referring to Sinovac,
Yes.
China.
Yes.
Well, China gave us 500,000 free. Tapos, magdagdag sila ng 400,000 more. So that would make it 1,000,000. Yan, walang bayad yan. So, libre yan. Ngayon, itong dadating, day after tomorrow, is it? Dadating na yung binabayaran natin. Ay yung babayaran pala natin. Doon pa dapat sila magtanong kung nasaan na yung pera. And I am not really, ang pagkaakala ko sa commercial law ko, pag maghiram ka ng pera sa bangko, magbayad ka, it is not done by money. Kailangan po 5 truck dyan bago kakutin yung pera na yan. Yan po ay papel lang. And, if you are afraid of corruption, let your mind go easy because these things are not susceptible to anything. The money is in the hands of the bank and they collect yung nagpabili sa atin ng bakuna from the bank. Hindi sa atin na pumunta yan kay Sunny Dominguez na bubuksan niya yung drawer. Sabi niya, ito na yung pangbayad. Hindi ho. Ano lang yan, that's a commercial law namin. May konti akong alam. Puro papel yan. What would be forwarded to them and to their account or to their banks, it's already paperwork. Kaya sana magdandahan magbigay ng mga billion kasi people might really think na sa bagay, sinabi ko na sa iyo mga kababayan ko, kung maniwala kayo sa kanila, sige, bahala na, doon na kayo. Kung kayong maniwala kayo sa amin, sinabi na walang 5 sentimos na hinahawakan po namin. It's the bank who will pay upon our advice na na-deliver na yung bakuna. Hindi tayo ang magpunta. Sila, through paperwork, tawag lang, the transaction has been, the buy and sell, tapos na at kukunin mo yung pera sa bangko. Kung hindi pa ho ninyo maintindihan yan, I really do not know how. Wala ho dito, basta bangko-bangko, especially the World Bank. I know that, sabihin nila, hindi naman kami nag-ano ng corruption. So, but when you try to ask us to explain where is the vaccines because yung billions na inallow ninyo that you authorize to be spent, inutang pa po yun. Siguro tapos na tayo dito sa COVID. I think unless ikaw na sunod mag-explain niya kasi mabuti ang Tagalog mo next time. Are you okay now?
Okay po, okay po. Kinukumpleto ko lang po yung 14-day quarantine at matatapos na rin naman po yung 14-day quarantine, pero okay po tayo. Wala pong problema. At nagpapatuloy po tayo sa ating press briefings at parang wala lang po nangyari, kaya lang lahat po ay broadcast from isolation. Pero tuloy-tuloy po, ang masasabi ko lang po talaga, tumitindi po ang politika dahil malapit ng eleksyon at ginagamit talaga itong pandemya, no, laban sa administrasyon. So kung meron pa pong konsyensyang natitira yung mga nais manalo, na desperadong manalo, sana po tumulong na lang po sila magbigay ng solusyon dito sa problemang ito kaysa pinagsasamantalahan po ang pandemya para sa kanilang mga selfish political gains.
Well,
Pero matindi po talaga.
that's what you would call the classic case of if you want to appear white, you paint the other guy black para ang labas mo puting-puti ka. Si Mr. Clean, parang ganon. Ganon yan eh. Style bulok. At wala naman siguro, except I have a few reminders for you. Sa mga kababayan ko, nasabi naman yung areas where they are, nasabi na ninyo yung places, okay na. So alam na ho ninyo kung anong hanggang saan kayo. Nandito, the highest is the NCR. Alam mo kasi nanonood ako ng TV and every time COVID is being discussed, they play a certain footage of yun sa Divisoria. Oh, how can you... I was just trying to how can you control the people there? It's just a small place. There are so many thousands there trying to wriggle in and out of... yan ang mahirap. Because of the space na wala, kasi tapos dumating itong pandemya, dito tayo nahirapan. So kung sirahan mo naman yan lahat, medyo tagilid na ang ekonomiya. And that's a problem. It will be disaster for our country. Kung sarahan mo talaga lahat, it would be disaster for the country. So, balance na lang tayo. Total, maliit pa naman ito. Small, not really small, but not so many are being affected. Hindi afflicted in the sense that your movement are being curtailed. And the curtailment of your free to travel is always subject to the power of the state to control the movement of its citizens, especially if there is a pandemic. The state has that kind of power, although hindi yan sa martial law, no. It's just putting you in the right places at the right time, at this time. So, may listahan lang kasi ako dito na I have promised you that I will be